Awaken your spirit, chosen one. There's something about you, something they can't put into words. It's not just your voice, your walk, or your silence. It's your energy. It's the way you carry yourself when the world wants you to shrink. You don't beg for attention, but your presence demands it. You don't chase validation, yet people can't stop watching you. And for some, it drives them mad. You've been told you're too much or too different. But the truth is, you're just enough of what the world secretly fears and desperately needs. You radiate calm in chaos. You speak without shouting. You shine without asking permission. And that, chosen one, triggers something psychopathic in people who haven't done their inner work. See, you're not fighting people. You're confronting their shadows. You're not being attacked for what you've done. You're being rejected for who you've dared to become. Your confidence isn't arrogance, it's clarity. Your peace isn't passivity, it's power. And when someone has spent their whole life wearing masks, your authenticity feels like a direct threat to their survival. You walk in rooms and the atmosphere shifts, not because you try, but because you exist in truth. You've found a quiet, strength that cannot be imitated, and that terrifies those still trying to perform for the world. When someone is ruled by ego, your freedom feels like chaos. When someone is addicted to control, your peace feels like rebellion. When someone thrives on power games, your refusal to play becomes dangerous. You make people feel things they've spent their entire life avoiding. You stir up their insecurities, their doubts, their buried trauma. You become a walking mirror, and not everyone is ready to see their reflection. That's why they project. That's why they twist your words, misread your silence, and create drama where there is none. Because facing you means facing themselves. And still, you do not change. You do not shrink. Because you were not built for comfort. You were built, and for clarity. You were not sent to conform. You were sent to confront, not with violence, but with divine presence. If your power wasn't protected, if your presence wasn't divinely hidden at times, the world would have tried to strip you of everything long before you realized who you were. If you had been seen too soon, they would have labeled you, boxed you in, and broken your spirit before it had a chance to rise. That's why the Most High covered you. That's why He hid your glory in plain sight. It was never punishment. It was preservation. You were never meant to blend in. That ache you've carried, that rejection you've faced, it wasn't because you were flawed. It was because you were chosen, set apart, marked by something the world doesn't understand, but deeply fears. Your light isn't just light, it's a divine disruption. And that's why people react the way they do. You remind them of everything they've buried. You walk in truth, and truth is the enemy of deception. You radiate love, and love exposes manipulation. You move freely, and freedom shatters the illusion of control. Chosen one, you're not crazy, you're not paranoid. You're not imagining the tension. You are simply too real in a world built on lies. And while others see your confidence as a challenge, heaven sees it as obedience. You're becoming what you were always meant to be. So don't apologize for your energy. Don't water down your truth. Don't second-guess your peace. The reactions you trigger are not reflections of your weakness, but of your power. You are the stillness before the storm, the voice that silences the noise, the fire that does not consume but refines, and when people don't understand it, they try to destroy it. But you, chosen one, you are protected. You are rising. If this message is stirring something deep inside of you, then you already know you've been chosen for more. Like this video, subscribe and comment with, "I am the mirror that reveals truth," to step boldly into your light. Your presence has purpose. Let them feel it. Chosen one, it's time to rise. Not because the world said you could, not because anyone gave you permission, but because something ancient and powerful inside of you has already declared it's time. Time to stop shrinking. Time to stop apologizing for the fire in your eyes, the stillness in your soul, and the truth you carry like sacred armor. You see, your presence is no accident. You didn't stumble into this moment. You were summoned into it, formed in silence, prepared in private, and now you're beginning to realize why certain people feel uncomfortable around you for no apparent reason. You're beginning to notice how your peace disrupts chaos, how your confidence, even in silence, speaks louder than their noise, and how your very existence, unshaken and unmoved, awakens something in others they're not ready to face. It's not your fault. You didn't choose to trigger their fears. You didn't ask to be a mirror, but your light doesn't ask for permission. It just shines. And that right there is what makes you dangerous to the darkness around you. You don't play the games. You don't engage in the drama. You don't bow to ego, and you don't crave validation. You walk in rooms with a quiet storm swirling in your spirit, calm, collected, whole. And that wholeness? That scares people more than anything else, because we live in a world where brokenness is normalized, where pretending is celebrated, where people trade their authenticity for acceptance every single day. And then you walk in, fully yourself, not perfect but present, not loud but anchored, and suddenly their masks don't feel so comfortable anymore. Suddenly, your peace starts to whisper to their pain. Your strength highlights their insecurity. Your freedom exposes their chains. That's why they project. That's why they gossip, sabotage, twist your words, or try to isolate you. Because when someone's soul is asleep, your truth feels like a rude awakening. When someone has been living in illusion, your presence feels like an earthquake. You shake things loose just by showing up. But don't let that scare you. Let it confirm you. You were never sent here to blend in. You were sent to break cycles, to awaken the asleep, to disrupt what's dysfunctional. You weren't called to be liked. You were called to be light. And not everyone loves the light, especially not when they've grown comfortable in the shadows. So yes, chosen one, your confidence will feel like a threat. Because it doesn't come from external things. It comes from alignment. It comes from divine connection. It comes from knowing who you are without needing to prove it to anyone. And that type of inner authority, it shakes every insecure foundation around you. It's not just what you say, it's how you say nothing and still command the room. It's not just what you do, it's the energy you carry while doing it. You're not trying to impress. You're trying to express what's real. You're not looking for praise. You're living from purpose. You don't need the crowd because you walk with the Creator, and that terrifies people who need applause to feel worthy. Because you're the one who refused to sell your soul for approval. You're the one who walked away when it was easier to stay. You're the one who kept going when no one clapped, no one supported, and no one saw the battle you were fighting in silence. You carried your own cross when the world laughed, doubted, and dismissed you. But you kept moving forward, and now you're becoming everything they said you couldn't be. You're walking proof that divine timing is real, that resilience is sacred, that favor isn't loud, it's consistent. And every room you step into, your soul carries the weight of those invisible battles, those sleepless nights, those moments when you had nothing but faith. And somehow, you made it anyway. You want to know why people react so strangely around you. Why they seem agitated by your peace, confused by your joy, or unsettled by your strength. Because you don't match the frequency of their fear. You've outgrown the lies. You've detoxed from the drama. You've learned how to sit with your pain instead of running from it. And in doing so, you've become something rare, something sacred, something dangerous to every manipulator, every deceiver, every energy vampire that once fed off your insecurity. You're no longer food, you're fire, and not everyone can stand that heat. So don't shrink to make them comfortable. Don't dim just to avoid attention. Don't second guess yourself just because they can't understand how you became so whole without needing them to approve of you. You've been chosen for a reason, and that reason doesn't need to be explained, defended, or diluted. Your journey speaks for itself. Your scars tell stories of survival. Your silence is filled with wisdom. And your eyes, they carry the weight of lifetimes and the promise of a future only the divine could design. Understand this. The more authentic you become, the more you'll trigger the parts of people that are still living in performance. And that's okay. Let them react. Let them reveal who they are. You don't need to fix them, explain yourself, or prove your worth, because you, chosen one, have already been approved by heaven. And when the Creator stamps your name with purpose, no rejection on earth can erase it. So walk boldly, love deeply, speak gently, and move with the quiet confidence of someone who knows they were sent, not just born, who knows their value doesn't rise or fall based on opinions, likes, or applause, who knows their peace is sacred, their voice is prophetic, and their presence is powerful, because the ones who truly see you will never be triggered by you, they'll be healed by you. And the ones who react with bitterness, envy, or fear, pray for them, bless them, release them, because they are not your enemy. They are simply not ready to meet themselves in the mirror you carry. You are not intimidating, you are just rare. You are not arrogant. You are aligned. You are not too much. You are enough for the purpose you were sent here to fulfill. So continue being the one who walks in truth when others are lost in illusion. Continue being the one who rises with grace when others fall into chaos. Continue being the one who speaks love when others spew hate. Continue being the one who refuses to break, even when pressure surrounds you. Because the more you stay true to who you are, the more you activate what's real in others, even if it comes with resistance. And one day, those who feared your light will remember you as the one who walked in when everything felt dark, the one who stood tall when everything around them was falling apart, the one who reminded them that peace is possible, healing is real, and identity is not something you earn. It's something you awaken into. So take your space, honor your journey, and keep walking, because you, chosen one, are not here to be understood. You are here to be remembered. You were never made to follow the script others wrote for you. That's why, chosen one, your path always felt like it, didn't fit the mold. While others clung to titles, approval, and tradition, something deep within you kept whispering, "This isn't it." Not for you. You move differently, not because you want to stand out, but because you refuse to live a lie. You follow something deeper, something divine, something they can't quite understand. That's why you don't move with the crowd. You don't imitate. You remember who you are without trying. You trust your instincts when others seek opinions. You listen to silence when others are drowned in noise. And that stillness, that divine alignment, makes people nervous. Because when you walk in purpose, it shakes those who perform. When your steps are led by spirit and not applause, it confuses those who only know how to chase. They can't understand how you're content without needing the spotlight. They don't get how you keep rising, even when they count you out. But what they'll never see is the price you paid in silence, the pain you carried in private, the storms you walked through without ever breaking. You've been walking with purpose while others walked in pretense. You've been shedding what's fake and clinging to what's real. And now your authenticity shines so brightly that it exposes the places where others are still pretending. You don't need to speak much. Your energy speaks for you. Your walk testifies. Your presence is your voice. That's why people who move through life with masks can't stand your face. Because you don't just show up, you show truth. And when truth enters the room, pretense can't survive. Some try to discredit you. Others try to copy you, but they still can't become you, because what you carry wasn't built in a moment of glory. It was forged in seasons of deep breaking. It was carved in silence, watered with tears, and sealed by grace. Your power isn't in how much you do, it's in how rooted you are, rooted in truth, rooted in purpose, rooted in something eternal. And here's the thing, people who seek control will always be threatened by someone they can't manipulate. When you no longer respond the way they expect, when you don't crumble under pressure, when you don't need their validation to feel worthy, it shakes them. Because control only works on those still bound by fear. And you've been set free. You've seen too much to be deceived. You've lost too much to settle. You've healed too much to be swayed. And because of that, you're not easy to move. You no longer follow sweet words. You follow fruit. You no longer chase potential. You follow alignment. You no longer beg for attention. You embody value. And that kind of strength, it's untouchable. It's uncomfortable for those still relying on manipulation and performance, because when they can't move you, they feel powerless. And when people can't control you, they often try to discredit or destroy you. But chosen one, you must understand. It's not personal, it's spiritual. You were sent to disturb the systems that enslave. You were created to be unshakable in a world addicted to chaos. That's why they'll try to make you doubt your clarity. That's why they'll question your peace, because peace isn't normal in a world built on fear. But here's the truth. They'll never admit they wish they had what you carry. They wish they could sleep at night with a clear conscience. They wish they could stop pretending and finally feel whole. And deep down, they know that you've done the inner work they've been avoiding. That's why you don't need to defend yourself. Let your growth speak. Let your silence echo. Let your consistency preach. Because when someone is ruled by ego, your humility convicts them. When someone feeds off chaos, your peace feels threatening. And when someone wears a mask, your authenticity burns like fire. You can't be manipulated anymore. And that's a divine mark of maturity. The days of shrinking for love, betraying yourself for approval, or pretending just to belong, they're over. You've outgrown the need to prove yourself, and because of that, you've become immune to the control tactics they once used on you. That immunity is sacred. It's what allows you to walk away without closure. It's what empowers you to release people without bitterness. It's what keeps you from needing to explain what your spirit already discerned. You see, chosen one, when you've been through fire, you stop fearing heat. When you've been broken and rebuilt, you stop panicking at pressure. You've seen what happens when you give your power away. And now you've chosen to walk in wisdom, to protect your energy, to live from overflow, not depletion. You don't need to yell to be heard. Your life is already loud. You don't need to argue to be understood. Your spirit already speaks, and you don't need to fit in to feel at peace. Your peace is not dependent on environment. It's anchored in truth. Let them talk. Let them misunderstand. Let them wonder how you keep standing, smiling, glowing. Because what they don't know is that grace has been carrying you. Purpose has been guiding you. And divine timing has been protecting you. Some people don't hate you. They hate the way you've healed. They hate the way you no longer need them. They hate that their absence didn't destroy you, that their betrayal only built you, that their silence didn't silence you. It sanctified you. You became who they never expected, and that threatens their illusion of control. But you don't owe anyone your peace just to make them feel comfortable in their dysfunction. You don't owe anyone your truth just because they prefer lies. You don't owe anyone your energy just because they're empty. You've learned how to choose yourself without guilt, how to walk away without war, how to protect your soul without apology. And that is power. And now you walk in a way that makes people second guess the lies they've built their lives around. Your very presence invites accountability. Not because you preach, but because you embody something holy, something raw, something real. Your walk convicts, your stillness commands. Your refusal to perform creates discomfort, but only for those who still live for the stage. Don't let their reactions make you retreat. Let them confirm that your evolution is divine, that your growth is undeniable, that your energy is uncontainable. Because you, chosen one, are not what they assumed. You are far more, far deeper, far stronger, far freer. And when you operate from that sacred place of knowing who you are, no weapon formed can prosper, not because there are no weapons, but because you've already learned how to rise with wounds. You've already learned how to worship in the wilderness. You've already learned how to thrive in the fire. You've become the evidence that healing is real, that peace is possible, that God is still moving through those the world rejects. So don't water yourself down for comfort. Don't dim your light for convenience. Don't make yourself smaller just to avoid being seen. You are not here to fit. You are here to shift. You are not here to be liked. You are here to lead. And even when they don't understand you, even when they push you away, even when they label you something you're not, keep walking. Because your assignment isn't to explain. It's to become. Become the peace that ends chaos. Become the love that heals trauma. Become the truth that breaks deception. Become the force that frees generations. That's who you are. That's what you carry. And no amount of envy, manipulation, or resistance can undo what was placed in you before you ever took your first breath. You're not here to compete. You're here to awaken. You're not here to be popular. You're here to be prophetic. You're not here to survive. You're here to reign. So rise, chosen one, and let your life speak. They misunderstand your silence. They think you've given up, that you've run out of words or lost your voice. But you, chosen one, are more powerful in your stillness than they've ever been in their shouting. You've learned the sacred art of restraint, the wisdom of waiting, the strength of not reacting. You've realized that silence isn't weakness. It's a language only the awakened understand. Your silence isn't empty. It's full of discernment. It's strategic. It's divine. You don't respond to everything, because not everything deserves your energy. You don't defend yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You don't fight battles already won in the spirit. Some people think noise is strength. They think chaos is proof of importance, but you've walked with God long enough to know He moves in whispers. He births miracles in the dark. He restores you in private before revealing you in public. Your silence is screaming louder than their noise. It's exposing everything false, everything weak, everything built on ego. When you stop playing the game begins to unravel. When you stop dancing for approval, the music of manipulation dies out. Your stillness forces others to sit with themselves, and that is why they find you dangerous. Not because you yell, but because you don't have to. There is a holy power in not reacting, in letting your elevation be your response, in letting your fruit speak while others throw stones. You don't explain anymore. You evolve. You don't fight for a seat. They didn't build the table you were made for. You carry your own atmosphere, your own kingdom, your own fire. And in that stillness, God has been teaching you. He's been sharpening your spirit, revealing people's hearts, reordering your circle, rebuilding your boundaries, teaching you that peace is not the absence of chaos. It's the presence of divine clarity in the middle of it. You've been misunderstood by many, but heaven knows exactly who you are. That's why, even in your lowest moments, there was a grace that never let go. That's why, even when you cried silently into your pillow, something sacred kept whispering, you were made for more. You didn't need validation to keep walking. You didn't need applause to keep standing. You had a covenant that the world didn't see. And that covenant, it has preserved you. Because you, chosen one, are not just a person. You are a disruption, a divine interruption to patterns that have ruled for generations. You're not just changing your life, you're shifting bloodlines. You're healing things that were never spoken, breaking chains that were never visible, carrying mantles that others dropped out of fear. You're not here to fit in. You're here to rebuild foundations. And when you carry that level of purpose, not everyone will understand you. Not everyone is supposed to. You've been speaking the language of destiny, while others were caught up in the dialect of distraction. You've been walking through spiritual deserts while others camped in comfort zones. You've been fasting from foolishness, purifying your soul, letting go of what the world calls normal, because you've seen a vision they haven't. You've seen who you really are, even when life tried to bury it, even when people tried to strip it, even when you forgot it for a moment. Heaven didn't, and now you walk as someone who has nothing to prove, but everything to live for. You're not performing. You're becoming, not chasing. You're attracting, not surviving. You're walking in overflow. You've become the living proof that wholeness is possible, that healing is real, that favor doesn't always look like fame, but it feels like freedom, that alignment isn't always visible, but it brings the kind of peace no man can give or take away. You've become the evidence of what happens when someone stops begging the world and starts obeying the whisper of God, and that's why you're still standing. That's why you're still glowing. That's why even after all you've lost, you still haven't lost yourself, because you were never just built to survive. You were built to transform. Chosen one, the truth is, you didn't ask for this path. You didn't wake up one day and say, "Make me different." But here you are, walking through fire that would have destroyed others, carrying grace that can't be bought, radiating wisdom that wasn't taught. It was remembered. You were called. And when God calls someone, He doesn't consult man's opinion. He doesn't ask for permission. He hides the chosen in plain sight. He prepares them in the shadows. He protects them with rejection. And when the time is right, He brings them forward, not to impress, but to impact. You are impact, chosen one. You are shift. You are sacred rebellion against the systems that numb souls and silence truth. You don't follow trends. You set frequencies. You don't blend in. You blaze paths. You don't wait for confirmation. You move by revelation. That's why the world has tried so hard to distract you, to discourage you, to distort you. Because once a chosen one knows they're chosen, the enemy loses control. Once you remember who you are, the illusion breaks, and now you're seeing with new eyes. You see past smiles. You hear what's not being said. You feel energy before words are spoken. You walk into rooms and sense spiritual climates. You've become the thermostat, not the thermometer. You don't match energy, you set it. And that kind of awareness, it can't be taught in schools. It's downloaded through spiritual warfare. It's activated through betrayal. It's birthed through solitude. You've had seasons where you were stripped of everything: money, people, plans, just so you'd remember that the most valuable thing you have is your anointing. And they couldn't steal that. They couldn't touch it. They couldn't ruin what they never gave you. You are covered, marked, guarded by grace and followed by fire. Every loss was a lesson. Every delay was protection. Every heartbreak carved you deeper into truth. And now your foundation is unshakable. You've outgrown your old cage. You're no longer a prisoner of past expectations. You no longer crave the crumbs of conditional love. You're not the same. You're not for everyone, and that's your power. You were never meant to be liked by the masses. You were meant to awaken the few, because you are not just light. You are the torch. You are not just called. You are commissioned. You are not just healed. You are a healer. So walk like it. Speak like it. Move like it. Live like it. Don't second-guess your intuition. It's sacred. Don't apologize for your glow. It's divine. Don't water down your truth to be palatable. It's meant to disrupt. This is your time, chosen one, to show up fully, to stop hiding your oil, to stop apologizing for your elevation. You've paid the price in silence. You've done the inner work. You've been faithful in the drought. Now, overflow. Let the ones who are meant to walk with you recognize you by spirit. Let the ones who rejected you witness your resurrection. Let the ones who doubted you eat from the table prepared in their presence, not out of pride, but out of purpose. Because your life is not a coincidence. It's a confirmation. You're not here to survive the storm. You are the storm. The quiet, holy, unwavering storm that changes everything it touches. Let them feel it. Chosen one. I know you've walked through seasons where the weight of the world seemed too heavy to carry. I know there have been moments when you questioned everything, when doubt whispered in your ear and the struggle felt endless. But through all of it, something in you refused to break. Something in you kept rising, even when you felt like staying down. Something inside you, no matter how beaten down you felt, still whispered, you were made for this. You are here today, not because you're lucky, not because everything was handed to you, but because you've been built for this. You've been forged in the fire of life's challenges. You've been purified by pain, and now you stand taller, stronger, and more capable than you realize. There's a power in you that only those who have walked through the fire can understand. The world might see the scars and the struggles, but what they don't see are the treasures hidden within, the lessons, the wisdom, and the strength that only come from surviving. You are not defined by what you've been through. You are defined by how you've risen time and time again. You've felt the sting of betrayal. You've faced the loneliness of walking a path others couldn't understand. You've carried burdens that no one else could see. But through it all, you've been preparing for something greater than you ever imagined. You have been purging what no longer serves you, fear, doubt, negativity, toxic relationships, and clearing the space for the powerful, authentic version of you to emerge. Now, you stand at the threshold of your breakthrough. You are on the verge of stepping into something divine, something so much greater than anything you've experienced before. But in this moment, the world may still be asking you to shrink. It may still be calling you to conform, to dim your light, to fit into the boxes they've created for you. But listen to me now, you were not made to fit. You were made to shatter the boxes, to transform the boundaries, and to rise in your full glory. The very thing the world tried to break in you, the thing they thought was your weakness, is your power. Your vulnerability is your strength. Your authenticity is your weapon. Your quiet confidence is your shield. You are not here to apologize for who you are, chosen one. You are here to be exactly who you were created to be, unapologetically, without fear, without doubt. And here's the thing. You don't need everyone's approval. You don't need to please those who don't see your worth. Your worth was never up for debate. You were chosen long before you could even comprehend the magnitude of your calling. And those who try to make you question your path, they are not the ones who get to determine your destiny. You were set apart for this. The rejection, the pain, the confusion. It was all a part of the plan to prepare you for something greater. Don't you dare let anyone make you feel small, chosen one. You are the mountain they tried to move, and yet you stand firm. You are the fire that refused to be extinguished. You are the river that carved its own path, even through the hardest stone. They may not understand you, but that's okay. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to be chosen by the few who see your light, your potential, and your purpose. In the quiet of your solitude, you've found your true self. In the moments when the world turned its back on you, you discovered your deepest strength. You are not who they say you are, chosen one. You are not the labels they tried to place on you. You are more than the mistakes you've made, more than the struggles you've faced. You are a living, breathing manifestation of divine purpose. And now the world will see it. I know you've had your moments of doubt when you wondered if it was all worth it. I know you've questioned whether you could keep going, whether the dream you're carrying is too big for you to hold. But listen, The dream was given to you for a reason. No one else could carry it. No one else could walk the path you've walked, because the vision you have is uniquely yours, and the strength you've built along the way is the foundation for something extraordinary. You have been given the tools to overcome anything life throws your way. You have a resilience that is unmatched. You have a fire within you that cannot be extinguished by time, circumstance, or people's opinions. You are built for the long haul. You are not a flash in the pan. You are the steady flame that burns brightly through the darkest of nights. The world will try to break you. It will try to tell you that you're not enough. It will try to fill your mind with lies, telling you that you're too broken, too flawed, too unworthy. But chosen one, you know better now. You've learned that your power doesn't come from perfection. It comes from your ability to rise again and again, no matter how many times you've fallen. Your power comes from your faith that the storm will pass and the sun will shine again. Your power comes from knowing that your purpose is greater than any obstacle in your path. And now it's time to step into your destiny with boldness, with clarity, and with unshakable faith. The world needs what you have, chosen one. The world needs your unique gifts, your authenticity, your voice, and your energy. You have a light that the world has been waiting for, whether they know it or not. And now it's time for that light to shine. You've already overcome so much, and yet this is only the beginning. The best chapters of your story are still to come. You are stepping into a season of manifestation where your dreams are no longer distant. They are here. You are on the verge of seeing the fruit of all your hard work, your sacrifice, and your resilience. But even in this new season, don't forget who you are. Don't forget the lessons you've learned, the strength you've gained, and the wisdom that has been passed down to you. The path hasn't always been easy, but it has shaped you into the person you are becoming. And you are becoming something great, something that will leave a lasting impact on this world. So walk in confidence, walk in the truth of who you are. You don't need to justify your journey or explain your purpose to anyone. You've already been chosen, you've already been equipped, and now it's time to rise and be who you were always meant to be. You are the chosen one, the one who will break generational curses, the one who will lead, guide, and inspire, the one who will show the world that it's possible to live with authenticity, power, and peace. The one who will remind others that they too are chosen, and that they too have the power to rise. And when the storms come, you'll stand tall. When the opposition rises, you'll rise higher, because you are not just a survivor, you are a warrior, and the world will see the strength you carry. Now, rise. Rise with the authority you've earned. Rise with the clarity you've been given. Rise with the purpose that is uniquely yours. Because you, chosen one, are exactly who this world needs right now. And you were made for such a time as this. Chosen one, this is your moment. The world may not fully understand you yet, but deep down, you know that this journey, with all its twists and turns, has been leading you here, to this point, to this realization, to this awakening. You felt the weight of solitude, the sting of rejection, the pressure to fit in where you were never meant to belong. And yet here you stand, not as someone who's broken, but as someone who's been refined. The fire didn't consume you, it purified you. The storms didn't drown you, they made you rise. Now, as you stand on the precipice of your true calling, there's a whisper in your heart that says, it's time. It's time to shed the last remnants of fear, to leave behind the doubts and the what-ifs that have held you back. It's time to stop second-guessing your worth and start embracing the truth that has always been there, hidden beneath the surface. You were made for this. You were made for greatness, chosen one. You were made for this path, even when it seemed unclear. Even when it felt like you were wandering in the dark, unable to see where the road led. The truth is, the darkness was never meant to confuse you. It was meant to reveal the light you carry within. It was in the quiet of the night, in the moments of stillness and solitude, that you discovered who you truly are. And now, as you stand on the edge of your purpose, know this: divine timing is at work. Every setback, every delay, every rejection has been a part of the divine plan. It's not a mistake that you've walked the way you've walked. Every obstacle has been a lesson, every trial has been a test, and each challenge you've faced has prepared you for what's coming next. You are not behind schedule. You are right where you need to be. The world might look at you and wonder why you're still waiting, still pushing forward, still holding on to the faith that something greater is coming. But the truth is, you are being prepared. The universe is aligning every piece of the puzzle, carefully crafting the path that will lead you to the extraordinary purpose you were born to fulfill. And you may wonder, how can I be sure? How can I trust that the waiting is worth it, that the pain has a purpose, that the solitude has been preparing me for something greater? Let me tell you, chosen one, you were never alone. Even in your darkest moments, when it felt like the world had turned its back on you, God was walking with you. He was holding your hand, guiding you through every hardship, teaching you lessons you couldn't have learned any other way. And now you are stronger, wiser, more resilient than you've ever been. You've learned to walk with faith even when you couldn't see the next step. You've learned to trust in the unseen, to believe in what hasn't yet manifested, to keep going when others would have quit. Now that strength, that resilience, is going to carry you into a season of transformation, a season where the pieces of your life begin to align, where the dreams you've carried in your heart for so long will begin to take shape. You will no longer wonder if you're worthy of your dreams. You will know that your dreams were always meant for you, that they were always part of the plan. And here's the beautiful truth: your purpose cannot be taken from you. No person, no circumstance, no setback can ever remove the calling that is written in your soul. You may face challenges, you may encounter doubts, but those challenges are not signs that you're on the wrong path. They are signs that you're on the right one. The enemy doesn't fight battles he knows he's already lost. The reason you faced opposition, the reason you face struggle, is because the world can feel your power. The universe can feel the force of your energy. And there's nothing more threatening to the enemy than a soul that knows its worth, its purpose, and its power. Now is the time to step boldly into that power. Now is the time to rise up and claim everything that's been promised to you. The world needs you, chosen one. The world needs your light, your authenticity, your unique gifts, your healing presence. You have been set apart for a reason. You have been called to break barriers, to heal wounds, to speak truth, and to lead in a way that no one else can. You have the wisdom of ages within you, the strength of generations, and the Spirit of God guiding you every step of the way. You are not an accident. You are the result of divine intention, a masterpiece created with purpose, a vessel of light and love that the world cannot afford to ignore. So, step forward with confidence. Step forward knowing that everything you've been through has brought you here, to this moment of clarity, this moment of awakening. You are exactly who the world needs right now. The world doesn't need more noise. It doesn't need more confusion. It needs you. The world needs your stillness, your wisdom, your ability to see beyond the surface and tap into the deeper truths that others overlook. You are a truth teller, a light bringer, a peace bearer, and the world cannot afford for you to hide your light any longer. Step into your purpose, chosen one. Let go of the doubts that have held you back. Let go of the fear that has kept you small. Let go of the need to explain yourself to people who will never understand. You are not here to seek approval. You are here to be what the world needs, bold, unapologetic, and authentic in every single way. You are the change you've been waiting for. You are the light that will guide others out of darkness. You are the one who will inspire generations to come. The world is waiting for you to step into your greatness, and I promise you this, you will not fail. The universe has already paved the way for you. Every door that has been closed, every path that has seemed blocked, is simply preparing you for the perfect timing. Trust in that. Trust in the process. Trust in divine timing. Your purpose is unfolding exactly as it should. So, embrace your power. Stand tall in your authenticity. Walk with confidence into the future that has been prepared for you. Because you, chosen one, are exactly where you need to be, and you are about to step into the most powerful chapter of your life. And when you do, the world will remember your name. Not because you sought fame, but because you sought truth. Not because you played the game, but because you changed the rules. Now is your time. Rise, you were born for this.